Now, we also mentioned how, the prices of fuel actually affects almost everything. And one of the very sensitive areas in the industry or in the sector today is our housing industry. Cement prices have been, predicted to be hitting about 50 55 cities or 60 cities per bag. We've been joined, via phone by Samuel Amagaibo. Oh, he's on Zoom. Thank you. Amagaibo is Executive Secretary for Ghana Real Estate Developers Association, and he's via Zoom. He will speak to us now. Mr. Samuel Amagaibo, thank you for your time, and good afternoon. Welcome to the show.
So, good afternoon also to your viewers as well.
So the price of for a 50 kilo bag of cement is expected to be increased from current 45 Ghana cedis to 55 Ghana cedis, next week, we're told. And then, our source also says that the product will be sold in Accra, however, at 60 somewhere, depending on where you buy it from. The update we're also getting is that the fuel prices have now, crossed the marks as, predicted by our OMCs and BDCs. How does that affect you?
This is a very difficult situation we all find ourselves. We have some global issues and then some local issues. But at the end of the day, any form of increment on a major component of our costs will definitely have a significant impact on what we do. And this is no mean increment at all. Since 2020, December, we've been having increments of this nature, and it has never stopped, and it keeps going up and up. And we don't seem to be doing anything about it. And this is where we find ourselves. It is not looking good for us at all.
How have you been managing since 2020 till now? We are in 2022.
We've been in touch with the manufacturers, and the things that they talk about are which they allude as the reasons for why the cement price is going up. It is something that is mind-boggling, and because it has its international implications, it's like there's not much one can do except to say that whatever can be done locally. We don't also seem to see anything on the side of government in cushioning us against this cost. All we hear is that our suppliers are talking about, increment in costs, in the operational costs, and then they just pass it onto the product. And then we are the final consumers. We buy them, we use them to produce our houses and for all the various construction projects that exist. And then at the end of the day, it's the final consumer that is suffering. There's not much we will be able to do. I mean, this is one of the reasons why sometimes people blame real estate developers of pricing their properties in dollars and all. And it is one of the means by which we cushion ourselves. So we don't actually want to price in dollars, we only index in the dollars. And that is how some of us have been able to survive it up to this point. But when it is as a result of international prices going up, the dollar cannot save that one. And so there will be some marginal adjustment to take care of that. Unless the company looks at his books and sees his operations and there are other places that they can squeeze, then in that case, they may absorb it, or the full impact will be managed such that not everything will pass on to the consumer. That is what we've been doing until now.
We know that you're requesting for government to, consider taxes and remove some of them from your products. I mean, how feasible do you think that is, considering the current situation that we find ourselves in as a country, where government is looking at every sector to at least generate some revenue from?
I think there is a possibility. If businesses don't survive and they are hit by some of these problems and we don't do anything about it, what will happen is that these businesses will rather collapse. And if they collapse, then the government cannot even get the taxes at all. So it is important we look at it from this angle and assist business stay afloat and survive within this turbulence so that they can come back strong and will be able to contribute to taxes. So what we were saying about taxes, for example, as at 2020, when this price escalation started, was that there is some component of the taxes that are a percentage based on the price. So we are saying if there's a component that says 10% of tax is charged onto the product and the product is costing say 100 cents, because this product is now costing 150 or 100, it goes tax. So can government look as at 2020? December, and the figures that were prevailing at that time, maybe we just consider it as a flat rate for the period when we are having this turbulence, so that government also don't unnecessarily enjoy. The government is like benefiting and enjoying from the price hikes, because the component of tax is also gone up. And so we think that is something that we can do within. And most countries also apply subsidies and maybe take up certain, but I think right now, if I look at our economy and the system that we are running right now, it doesn't look feasible to talk about subsidies, but the part of taxes that can be adjusted to give us some respite.
All right, so we're trying to have a discussion with Mr. Samuel Amagaibo, who is the Executive Secretary for Ghana Real Estate Development. That's a prediction. Mr. Magai, sorry, I think I lost you for a moment. If you can take your last sentence again. You said that considering the current situation that we're in, it's almost impossible for government to consider subsidies, right?
Yes, it may with even new taxes like e-levy, the rest that is having, and we are hearing the repercussions if this e-levy, for example, is not passed. It means that government looking up to collecting taxes. So they cannot, add on to the burden of subsidizing anything. I mean, I'm just thinking aloud. But then if our managers of the economy think that they can make room for subsidies, it will be important that these things are all brought on board and applied for businesses to stay afloat, so that government can be assured that we'll be able to contribute taxes. The other repercussions is that if businesses don't run, there will be job losses and all these things. It's going to go a long way to hit us very hard if we don't take steps right now.
We know that one of the elements that you import, to make our cement complete has to do with a clinker. There's been the discussion about, Ghana trying to produce its own clinker. Has it come up, and how do you go about this discussion when it comes up?
Well, fortunately, I happen to be a member, or was a member of the Cement Monitoring Committee, and I was privy and a member of the group that went on an audit of all cement factories in the country. So at least I have visited all the factories in this country, and we don't have any clinker, production plant except Diamond Cement Savannah, that is producing some clinker somewhere in the north, but the quantities that they are able to produce is very small for their own consumption, and I think even in their own consumption, it is too small, so they have to import. So within the country, there are researches going on and identifying alternative materials for the production of cement, but at this very moment, we don't have the quantities of clinker in this country that is enough to produce our demand on the market. And another cement factory that we had used to be the one for the Building and Road Research Institute, which was producing pozzolana cement. And as you may be aware, pozzolana cement is also on the market if they are producing at all. We did not assist them to do the marketing to stay afloat for the business to expand and also contribute to the national demand. And so pozzolana is also phased out right now.
All right, kindly hold on there. In our last minutes, we have Emmanuel Cherry, Chief Executive of the Ghana Chamber of Construction Industry, joining us via Zoom also. Emmanuel, thank you for joining us, even though you came rather a bit late. However, let's have you in. I was just talking to Samuel Amagaibo, and I was telling him about the latest information we're receiving here is that the pumps have finally, the prices at the pumps, fuel pumps have finally moved up 10 cedis, almost 11 cedis, depending on the products that you're dealing with. So with the prediction of the cement prices, going up to 55%, 60 at some, places, how is this coming to you? Okay, so kindly unmute your mic. I think your mic is muted, so unmute it and we can hear you. Okay, great, I can hear you.
Okay,
yes.
Yeah, and let's speak to add up to what my brother Sami has said earlier. It is about time for us to look within, to use homegrown policies to solve our own problem as expected, because nothing at all. COVID-19 has taught us a very good lesson. In as much as COVID-19 to at least change the dynamics of what they call it, the economy of the entire world, the time has come for us to look within and see what we can do to start generating or producing things within ourselves for us to be self-sufficient. Now, coming back to the issue of price hike of fuel and products, we have discovered oil in a large quantity, in a commercial quantity, which became a celebration for the entire country. But what do we benefit from? What is our benefit from this particular discovery? It's eventually since 30 to 40%. That is our benefit. What is at stake in there? As a country, first of all, we need to at least think inward.
Discussion with Emmanuel Cherry, who is a executive secretary at the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, and coming through with his submission on how he thinks that we should begin to do our own local production of some of the items that we import. Samuel, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so we lost Emmanuel just a moment. So I'll allow you to give me your last words before we run out of time, because we're really pressed for now. You were on the production before Emmanuel also joined us. With the point where he started from, do you think it's really possible, even though you belong to a group that those discussions will come up? Do you think it's possible that we can seize the moment where we are really in a crunch moment and still force ourselves to do something as far as local production of some items are concerned?
Yes, I sincerely agree with you. And to add to that, we have building and road research in the country. What have we benefited, or what tax is a state agency that is there and has done a lot of research in local material usage and all that. But these things have not been applied. Government continues to engage in housing production. I cannot find anywhere that the benefits of linkages and synergies with the Building and Road Research Institute has been applied. So I agree with Cherry. There are several materials that have been developed locally. We have bricks, this Uzolana cement, and then this research also into finding clinker locally, as well as bamboo. We didn't talk about, I know your
bamboo.
topic is about
iron rods.
Iron rods. There's a lot we can do with bamboo. It is very disheartening to be driving around and to see people struggling to build just 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, and they are heavily over designed, using too many iron rods, which to me are unnecessary in certain part of the project, because they don't consult properly.
Right.
So there's a lot we can do. Let's begin or tax our local agencies that have the requisite skills and ability to help us unravel some of these industry issues, so that we look within. We can continue to depend on foreign for a while, but we need to start doing something within, so that we are not overtaken by surprise. With where crude prices and international prices are heading, if we don't to look in and continue to allow these prices control us, I'm sorry, it will get to a point that we can't build anything at all. And cement and iron rods are two major materials that anything construction related definitely need them. And these are the two major materials that has hit us so badly in the past 3 years in this country.
Samuel, on this frustrating note, I'll end the interview here. Thank you for your time. We'll speak to you again, definitely. Yeah. Samuel Amegai Boy is Executive Secretary of Ghana Real Estate Development Association. Do we still have Emmanuel Cherry on? Okay, we've lost him, but at least our time is up, so we'll leave it here. But we'll still get back to this issue because we're looking forward to the day when we're expecting the prices of cement to move from 45 Ghana cedis to 55 or 60, depending on where you're actually buying it from. We were told that at least on the 22nd of March, we should be seeing the changes. But my producer is letting me know that the fuel prices is even affecting what we call gobe in Ghana. So those of you who eat gari and beans a lot, like myself, because I love gari, I'm going to be paying 4 cedis and not 3 cedis going forward. I am Ania Fompo. Thank you for watching. Good afternoon, Ghana. We're back on Friday with another program.